You're certain it happened exactly as you remember it. The conversation with your friend, that childhood birthday party, the way you met your partner. The details feel so vivid, so real. The colors, the emotions, the exact words spoken. But what if I told you that many of these cherished memories, the ones that form the very foundation of your identity, are fabrications? Not deliberate lies, but unconscious constructions your brain has seamlessly woven into the fabric of your reality. I've discovered something both fascinating and deeply unsettling, that normal, healthy minds routinely create false memories with absolute conviction. This phenomenon, which is called confabulation, isn't restricted to those with cognitive disorders. It's happening inside your head right now, shaping your understanding of who you are and the world around you. Think about your childhood home. Picture the layout, the color of your bedroom walls, that special hiding spot only you knew about. Now consider this. Studies show that approximately 40% of these specific childhood memory details are demonstrably false when cross-referenced with physical evidence or other witnesses. Have you ever argued with a partner or family member about something that happened, with both of you absolutely convinced your version is correct? That's not what I said. That's not how it happened. Perhaps you've dismissed them as being forgetful or deliberately difficult. But here's the uncomfortable truth. You're both experiencing confabulation, filling in gaps with details that make narrative sense but never actually occurred. Let me share something that happens remarkably often. In my research, I've interviewed hundreds of adults about their earliest memories. Many describe with perfect clarity their third or fourth birthday party. The cake, the presents, who attended. Yet when family records are consulted, that particular birthday unfolded completely differently, or in some cases, wasn't celebrated with a party at all. These aren't intentional lies. Brain scans show that recalling these false memories activates the same neural pathways as recalling genuine ones. To your brain, there is no difference. The certainty you feel about these memories is biochemically identical to the certainty you feel about events that actually happened. Does this uncomfortable realization strike a chord? Can you think of a memory you've recounted numerous times, one that feels more like watching a video than struggling to remember? Those are precisely the memories most likely to contain fabricated elements. Consider this scenario. You witness a car accident. Later, someone asks if you saw the stop sign that was run, but there was no stop sign. Only after it's mentioned does your brain retroactively insert one into your memory of the scene. This is the misinformation effect, and it happens with alarming frequency. In laboratory settings, over 30% of people can be induced to remember events that never occurred through simple suggestion. The more time passes, the more vulnerable your memories become to this kind of unconscious revision. Think of a time when you discovered a childhood memory was wrong, perhaps a story your family tells differently than you remember it. That disorienting feeling, that brief vertigo when you realize your memory has betrayed you, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Our memories don't exist in isolation. They're continuously shaped by those around us. When friends reminisce about shared experiences, they unconsciously align their memories, creating a collective version that may bear little resemblance to what actually transpired. Have you ever noticed how family stories evolve over time? How the funny mishap becomes more dramatic with each retelling at holiday gatherings? This isn't just embellishment. It's your brain conforming its neural pathways to match the social consensus, actually changing your memory at a physiological level. What's truly unsettling is how unaware we are of this process. Studies show that even when people are informed that certain events never happened, they often continue to remember them with unyielding conviction. Perhaps most disturbing is what this means for your sense of self. The autobiographical memories that form your identity, your first kiss, your greatest triumph, your deepest regret, all contain elements of fiction woven so seamlessly into truth that they're impossible to disentangle. When you tell yourself, "I'm the kind of person who," you're referencing a history partially constructed by your mind's need for coherence, rather than adherence to factual events. Close your eyes for a moment and recall a defining moment in your life. something that shaped who you are today. Now consider this. Which elements of that memory might be confabulations? The insight you believe changed everything? The exact words spoken? The sequence of events? This isn't meant to induce existential crisis, but rather a profound humility about the nature of our consciousness. The consequences extend far beyond personal identity. Our justice system relies heavily on eyewitness testimony and memory-based evidence. Yet research shows that confident, detailed testimonies are no more likely to be accurate than hesitant ones. An estimated 70% of wrongful convictions overturned by DNA evidence involved eyewitness misidentification. These weren't malicious lies. They were confabulations offered with absolute certainty by well-meaning citizens. Consider the weight of this. Someone's freedom could depend on the reliability of a process we now know to be fundamentally flawed. How many people might be serving sentences based on memories that never actually existed outside a witness's mind? You might be wondering, why would our brains evolve such an unreliable system? The answer is both practical and somewhat melancholy. Memory doesn't exist to provide an accurate record of the past. It exists to help us navigate the future. Your brain prioritizes narrative coherence over historical accuracy because a good story provides better guidance than fragmented truths. There's also a protective function. Studies of trauma survivors show that memory alteration can shield us from psychological harm. Your brain may subtly revise painful memories to preserve your mental well-being. Have you noticed how your embarrassing moments seem less cringeworthy with time? Or how past relationships take on a different quality after they've ended? This isn't just perspective. It's your memory actively rewriting itself. So where does this leave us? If we can't trust our most vivid memories, what can we trust? First, recognize that this isn't a flaw but a feature of human consciousness. The same neural flexibility that creates false memories also enables imagination, empathy, and planning for the future. Second, practice humility about your recollections. When disagreements arise about what happened, consider that both parties might be experiencing different versions of a confabulated reality. Finally, document important moments. External records like photographs, journals, recordings can provide anchors for our malleable memories, though even these can be reinterpreted through the lens of confabulation. As you leave this discussion, I invite you to hold your memories with a new kind of tenderness, not as perfect records of the past, but as evolving stories your brain tells to make sense of a complex life. The next time you find yourself absolutely certain about a memory, just pause. Consider that what feels most real may be where your mind has worked hardest to create coherence from fragments. This isn't cause for despair but for wonder. Your consciousness, this intricate web of truth, fabrication, and meaning, is performing an ongoing miracle, creating the continuous sense of self that allows you to exist in the world. The memories that define you may not be entirely true, but the person they've helped you become is real. And perhaps that's what matters most. In the space between what happened and what we remember lies the essence of being human.